within the first 15 years of this century. Climate change is no longer just about the future that we're predicting for our children or our grandchildren. It's about the reality that we're living with every day, right now.
About the climate crisis. Be a green consumer. You have choices with everything you buy between things that have a harsh effect or a much less harsh effect.
There is such a thing as being too late when it comes to climate change.
Last year I watched a TED Talk by John Hunter, an American educator who'd made a game for 4th graders called the World Peace Game. And it opened my eyes to using simulation games to get young people involved in really, really complicated issues. I was lucky enough to go to Austria last year and work with John, and I've since started developing some of my own games. This last one, Planetology, focuses primarily on environmental challenges. I think it's something that is going to be a really big part of young people's lives in the next 10, 20 years. So any experience they get finding out about what those problems are and coming up with problems to deal with it would be great.
The whole idea behind Planetology is to get kids really excited about ways that they can be creative to solving real-world problems. So when they are introduced to the game, it's really complicated and they're a bit overwhelmed, but it inspires them to come up with some really great strategies to solve problems that we face every day.
Being able to broaden your horizons to events like this in the environment, being able to create what you need to help solve challenges.
The fact that we're solving problems around the world and it kind of gives you a relief.
It's pretty similar to the real world in the sense that these jobs are kind of performed in the real world.
When we designed the game, we thought that everything was going to run smoothly based on the time frame that we were given. When we actually started playing the game, we realized that it was taking a lot longer than we expected. So we had to kind of be flexible with the way that it was implemented so that the students would have enough time to solve the challenges.
Relate back to the subject because it was about helping the environment, building things that would help the environment in general, so things like the turbo recycling utility for the majority of the people, which I built, which essentially eliminates housing costs by providing recycled materials to build the houses with.
One of the challenges was that because of climate change, there were lots of more bushfires than usual. So one of the students had to come up with a creative solution, and they researched about drones and different ways that drones can be tolerant to particular climates, and they actually invented a drone that's fire resistant that can go in and put out large bushfires. So it didn't prevent the occurrence of bushfires, but I thought that it was a unique solution to come up with a fast way to stop bushfires from spreading.
I hope that they would say that it's quite different to their normal experience in the classroom. Most classrooms are designed around an adult standing up the front and giving information that the students take in. It's quite a receiving mode of education. This way, ideally the students are in charge and they're the ones talking, taking the actions and deciding where the game goes.
Well, the students are surrounded by the environment all the time, but in the classroom, it's often presented in a compartmentalized manner. So the kids have a hard time relating what they're learning in the classroom to what's going on in the real world. So doing a simulation game like Planetology lets the students believe that there are things that they can do as individuals that can contribute to solving real world problems.
Definitely, because I can just see how many problems there are, and in actual real life, and I'll just watch out with what I do. From playing the game, I learned that a lot of things that are in the game are real world problems, and that can be solved through problems that have been solved now, but you can always see the issues between problems and stuff like that, relating it back to the actual world.
Probably being able to plan, handle your money, as well as being creative and able to think of ideas. because it's really, you have to make the ideas yourself as well as being able to handle your money so you can solve your challenges and help other people as well.
Imagination, because you need to just go out of your box to create ideas for this kind of thing.
We've now made 2 games of this type, Earthcraft and now Planetology, which I think have both been really successfully implemented in our school, and from talking to students they really enjoy it. I would love to take these ideas and get teachers and students in other schools to develop their own games rather than them just copying the games that we've made. I'd like to give them the tools to be able to come up with games that are appropriate and relevant to the student body that they've got.
Well, the fact that a bunch of Year 10 students can fix these challenges gives me kind of hope for it. But, you know, government money, they won't.
The oceans are a mess, forests have vanished. We've got to do something if we're going to ensure any kind of a future for our children.
An argument of stewardship, an argument of handing on a world
spiritual
as
value,
rich as the one we inherit.
Aesthetic value, psychological benefit, or having a large